Good evening.
Hey, greetings. This is Gene.
Hello, 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 hello.
Hi guys.
Hey.
Good evening.
Hey.
Ah, what?
Is everyone on a TT bike?
Yes. And if you're not, you've got 2.5 minutes to think about it.
Yeah. Plus, you want those disc wheels too. I found out.
So as aero and slippery as you can be.
That's right.
So just we're all here. Get out the pen, the usual, make sure we're all there. Get a line, get some gaps between each rider. Gene first, then Jonas, Gareth, me, Orge, and Kim, because Kim's here, because he's mental.
Yes, yes,
Hello, Kim.
yes, please.
Oh dear.
They
That's
were
incredible. Yeah. How did you guys do?
It was really okay. We finished 6 riders and started 6 riders, so it was amazing. Lauren was super strong, and yeah, we just it was great. We did 42 or something.
Oh, that's pretty solid.
I just want to finish today, particularly because Kim's now going to do the second one. Embarrassing.
Did you guys have? It sounds like you didn't have any difficulty on that hill. I think it's
No.
reverse epic hill.
We just agreed to spin easy at the top before the little dipper. So we were together.
Yeah.
So if we come to the KOM reverse, suggest that forget a line and just go up as a blob, and then find the line again at the top, and just start to spread out.
Yeah, I guess the talk before the gap gets too big.
Yeah.
It's a nice descent too, so I want to make up some time there.
Right, gentlemen, 10 seconds to go. Good luck. Okay, Jean, you're starting now. I'll just give us a minute. Up on it too. Good. Here's Jean. Outline. Turn this off in 5 seconds.
Okay,
Fern, I'll
gents.
be on at 3. I'm on at 3. Roger, 4. Kim, 5. Gareth coming through at 5. Okay, OJ on 5, I'm off. I suppose you're at 4. Kim, you're on at 5.
Yeah.
Five seconds.
Okay, Kim's on. Jean, you're on at 6.
Yeah. Jean.
Okay.
Got it.
Okay.
Good job, Kim.
Jean's on. Jean on at 6. Gareth, you're on at 7.
Jonas skipping already.
What? Oh, sorry.
Jonas.
Can't even read my. Can't even go and write. Sorry, Jonas. Jonas on at 7.
Jonas.
God. Jonas, you're at 7. Gareth at 8.
Yes.
Apologies, Gareth. Get up here. Steady. Jean. Pace Jonas well controlled. Jonas off in 5. Gareth on at 8. I'm on at 9.
Yeah. You got me, guys.
Gap. You okay, Gene?
I'm gonna try. You brought me again.
Controlled.
Gene's maybe 10 seconds off.
Okay. Let's not ruin him. Nice and steady. Okay, I'll go to the front at 9. Nice and easy.
Here he comes. Great work, Gene, great work. Okay, Ian.
Okay. Ramp it up. No problem. Going through it. Take a rest, Gene. Go G on at 10. Okay. Going off in 5. Steady. All together. Together. Hold your breath.
Right, I'm not jumping.
Gene?
No, it dropped me again.
Okay, is he with us?
Another 10, 15-second gap.
Okay. Holding steady. Holding steady. What's the gap?
Much the same.
7.
We lost Gene.
He's doing 4.4 and he's not catching.
Okay, slowing down. Save a bit of energy here. Got the flat. Easy up the hills. Easy up the hills.
8 seconds.
Okay. Easy.
Amazing effort, Gene.
Hey, this is killing me.
Stretch out in a
Just
line,
follow
guys, and
the-
he'll be there. Catch the tail.
Just let him sit in the back. Sit in the back, Gene.
That's it, he's on.
Okay, take a rest.
I can go here.
Steady, steady, steady.
What an effort, Gene. Well done.
Thank you.
Okay, Jonas, take us to the top. Okay, we'll find the line and we'll get into the desert.
Remember, keep pushing 100 watts. Oh, we all survived the hill.
We go.
Kim, when we turn left into the desert, that's your time to go in the front.
Okay.
Count you in. Just hit the front, Kim, about 16. Just get. Gene, do you want to go at 17?
Negative. No. Oh, my heart
Okay.
rate is up a little bit. Sorry, guys.
Okay. Okay, I'll get off the front like an idiot. Leave Kim there. Gareth, you're on at 17. Kim. Too slowly, I'm on 18. Jonas, if you go 19. Okay, Gareth, 22.
Vai igual. Depois.
Jonas, 19. OJ, 20.
É.
Okay, Jonas, 105. Well done.
Five seconds.
Okay, OJ. Jean,
Yeah.
now you've 21.
Okay.
Cheers. Kim, 22. Okay, OJ. Jean, you're at 21. Kim, 22. Jonas, you'll be 23. Good line. Still Kim. Look at. Yeah, Jean. Okay, Jean off in 10. Kim's on in 5. Jonas, 23. Gareth, 24. Okay, Jonas on in 5. Just kidding. Okay, Gareth on in 5. Jonas. Slotting behind Gareth. Fifteen seconds.
Ah,
Oh, JB on at 26, coming through, coming through. OG, you take 25, I'll take 26.
ah. Ah.
Okay, OG, I'm on at 26. Coming through. Think. Oh, God! Come on! So, Kim, yet again, my legs have absolutely gone. What's wrong? Ah, shit. Ah, come
Yeah.
on. I'm on the front just now. I'll try and stay there. Come on, come on, come on. Gene, you'll be 28. Okay. Come on, legs. Come on, legs. Sorry, Gene. Hard as I can. Picked the wrong legs again. Jonas, you'll be 29, if that's okay.
Yep.
Good effort, Gene. Gareth, 230.
I can try.
Cheers. Well done, Jonas. Okay, Jonas off the 5, Gareth on. Kim, can you do 31?
Yep.
Yes, Kim. And Gareth. Kim 31, I'm 32, OJ 33. Unless we're on the hill and the glob. Sorry, Kim. Keep up ahead. Okay, coming through.
Hey, son, just drop a stroke. Might be better passing downhill.
Hold, hold.
Hold. Hold.
Okay, okay.
Okay,
Hold on, guys.
go.
Clean pass, well done.
Sit together till we turn right.
That the other half of their team.
Might be.
So, I think they'll be in yellow. Team in front. So, that's what to do here. Right. Good. Just roll on and up the front.
Come on, OJ.
Well done, Jonas.
Jones is
Okay.
going through, everyone.
Yeah.
Don't chase them, we'll get through. Well done.
1K.
Well done, guys. Well done.
Ah,
Oh, why is that so hard? Well done.
oh, well done, everyone.
Well done.
In the beginning, I was really hurting. It
You
was
loosened
like
up.
I forgot to pump my bike. I must have. It was not rolling.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh.
Brilliant, guys. Ah,
Well done, Gene. Some brilliant chases, Gene. Well done.
thank you for the teamwork again.
Glad that wasn't me.
yeah, that was some great chasing back, Gene.
Thank you.
Yeah, it was
You guys are
a
brilliant.
built-in interval session.
You guys are tough, man.
Oh,
That was
well,
hard.
listen, you've done the 200. You've done the 200 achievement.
What did we win for that?
A beer, more beer, some extra beer, beer all over. I had my bloody lunch at 3:30, so believe me, that was just watching the levels drop. That was some incredibly good fun. No. Oh. God.
Hey, whatever happened? I saw that post. I forgot who put it in there on Messenger. Last year, I guess there was a 40-something. Scott Higginbotham was. I haven't seen him racing with us recently. Anybody know where he is? I'm hopeful. That's all.
Yeah, he is very busy doing a job, and he has small kids.
Stopped it.
Ah.
Whatever you say, kid. God bless you.
I know the one of you who have been riding with Anders on CDM. It's the pulling schedule.
Yeah.
You should do 300 watts, and you should do 380 watts. And
yeah. You want to know the 2 times I rode with CGMs in the last month, my FTP increased both times.
Yeah.
Yeah, went from 271 to 273, and then to 278. The two
Yeah.
times I rode with them, my FTP increased.
The problem is you come off the front, assuming you've done something in the front, go to the back, then immediately fall off the back, and then have to do another 30 seconds worth of effort. So basically, you've got a minute and a half way out of your comfort zone.
It really, there is, because what's happening is you're pulling at 330, 340, probably even higher, but you can't go below 300, or else you will fall behind. See, that's the issue.
Yeah, that's a difference. But that's a difference in a
Yeah.
Cat B race like ZRL, where
Yeah,
you can go up a hill. I can go up a hill, Gareth. We all went up a hill at 7-8 watts a kilogram. It's
Yeah.
then trying to maintain something over 4 watts a kilogram to stay in a group. The guys who are
And-
high Cat B, just bouncing off Cat A, can hold that additional power for just a bit longer.
yeah. They race downhill.
Yeah.
I've raced with C's, and they rest at the top of the hill.
Well, that's the
And-
problem because you're all your energy spent. You're absolutely blowing. So you get to the top of the hill, and you think, "Oh, have a rest now." You do that in a B race.
No,
Do that in a B race, and you're bye.
you will, right, exactly. And in an A, you race downhill.
The A's are different though. The A's just know when they have to put the power down. They just sort of go around at a reasonable rate, which you think I could hold that, and until a hill comes or a sprint comes, and then you're just left in the dust.
Yeah, that's the
They
way
tend
that
to make the efforts.
I've raced a few times against Carl, and he does that. You think,
Yeah.
oh, I could hold this no
Yeah.
bother, and then when he needs
Yeah.
to put the power down, he's gone.
Yeah,
That's the difference.
he's playing. He's playing with us.
Oh, yeah.
I think he races in another league. He's
Well,
just being
in the
tied to us.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
the espresso league, which is just ridiculous.
Yeah. He warms up, I think, with us. I mean, with me. I'll speak for myself. I'm telling you, I've raced against Carl and Scott too. And Carl is coming off a long-term injury and maybe illness, and Anders too, I think.
Yeah.
And Anders is coming back slowly.
Anders keeps himself fit. Well, he's because of his obviously where he lives and the skiing. I mean, his RPM is literally walking pace. But him and I spoke about this a few years ago. But his leg strength for a slow RPM is ridiculous. So he'll scoot around at 350 at doing 60 odd RPM. You know, and he's happy at that in that position doing that. I mean, love him. The thing I'd love to see somebody like Scott. I know Scott doesn't cycle outside. I'd love to get Scott to Scotland and see what he's like going up a hill, which is not flat and got gravity against him. I'm sure he'd be still very good, but I'd love to see him outside. I'm sure he'd be great in something like a crit race. Don't know why. He says he would never cycle outside, strangely.
He and Carl's a big boy.
But he's half my age. Does that count for him?
Well, that too. They're younger.
Yeah. Almost play that card.
Yeah. Well.
Speaking of weird things, Gareth, see the video from Tuesday?
No, I didn't.
See on the right-hand side, obviously you've got heart rate, power, watt per kilograms, right? What's the blue number? What's the blue number to the left of that?
I don't know.
The
The
light
power?
blue
There's
No,
heart,
because
there's heart
heart
rate,
rate, power,
there's pure watts,
per
there's
kilogram.
watts per kilogram. Then
And then
the
on
greeny
the left of
number
that,
is
the
the,
that's a battery.
but that's the bonus watts that you've got from being in the draft.
Right, I thought it was the balance thing, but right, okay, so that's because I
battery-
noticed
The battery
that makes
icon
sense.
is the thing, yeah.
The green thing,
Um,
yeah. So that made sense in the draft because at one point when you and I were in that small group, not thinking we were chasing, but we technically were. If you and I were on the front, suddenly thought, oh, wait a minute, we're doing 90, we've got 80, we've got 70, and then you slip back. Admittedly, you have to be in the right position, and then suddenly it'll shoot up to 140s, 150s again.
Yeah.
If you're not in that line, if you're anything out of the line, you know, it's sort of mid hundreds. You're lucky. So it's quite interesting to watch. It shows what little draft you have when you sort of scoot through to the front, trying to push a wee bit.
Yeah, there's a lot of discussion that it's not accurate for what you would get if you were out on the road as extra draft. There is some sort of strange bonus that Zwift is giving you, but if you add that number to the raw watts, that is roughly what the person on the front is doing, and you're keeping pace with them.
Yes,
Yeah, I think I call that that odd Zwift plus is like stickiness. It kind of pulls you along. But yeah.
Because if you're outside, if we go outside and maybe there's 8 of us on a Sunday, and if you're on the front, you're on the front. Or if you're not, but if you get a chance to sit in the draft, I mean, there's a huge. You can tell there's draft. I mean, it is what it is. And I've done
there's a couple things going on there, Ian, because I think too with Zwift, there's a sweet spot with the 7 or higher, and the blob, because there is a stickiness. And also the third thing is, I don't have it. My computer just steers me. But do you guys steer? Because I can't get into those draft positions like I would want to if I were steering. Does that make sense? So a couple things I threw up there.
Yeah,
well, I think at the start of it. Sorry, Gav.
No, I was just going to say I've got steering on my bike, but it's disabled for 90% of races, so you're just at the mercy of wherever Zwift sticks you, really.
Well, that's the thing, because if you start in the ZRL start, if you on the Gavis, we're all seeing those pictures of how the draft starts at the front and goes out like a cone to the back. But if you're in the outskirts of a big blob, which happens more often than you think, you're literally getting nothing. You have to the only way it works is if you come off the power slightly, you tend to drift back into the middle, and there's a noticeable difference in what you were outputting 2 or 3 seconds ago.
Yeah.
The only downside to that is to come off the watts to get into the middle of the pack, save yourself some energy. You can go from 20th place to 60th in the blink of an eye.
Let me throw some. I'm going to restate something, but as a single question this time, because I know we were doing the pooling, but I think that's old-fashioned now with Zwift with these last 2 updates or something. I think the blob is actually faster. I think that last 5K, when we were working as a blob, we were actually going faster than our single file.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I think the 2 things is a blob. Individually, you wouldn't maybe get the 6 of you. You're not going to get 5-minute, rest, for want of a better phrase, because you're all working, and then you have to do a minute's effort. Then you have to then recover for your rest. But the problem with trying to hold a line, you spend so much time fluctuating your power to try and hold place, hold position, don't fall out, that there's something to be said that a blob rotating at a reasonable pace, you're not going to get the same amount of rest, but you might consistently be in a kind of sweet spot of power that works for everybody.
I fell off the back a couple of times tonight after my pull because we were a blob. I think if we'd have been a line, I could have got back on the power and maybe joined on the back of the line, but because we were effectively a horizontal line across the road, I ended up doing my pull and then having to put a dab of power on to get back to the blob again.
Yeah. And that's because the line is giving us more draft, so you're not struggling, but having to increase your watts just to find that speed to fall into the line.
I'll also say that Zwift's about to bring in a new algorithm for pack dynamics. They're testing it at the moment in special races. I think there's one race series on the calendar that's using it. And there's a bit more. If you come off the power in a blob, it's going to start auto braking you and making you fall back and things like that. So, it's going to be all change again. So, we think we might have the system all worked out, and they're going to change it again.
So, just to read between the lines there. So, if we're talking about doing, say, a rotating blob rather than a line, because say that course says that rotating blob is better, then that's not actually going to be how it was, is what we're saying, right? It's going to be Is it encouraging then?
Again.
Therefore, is it actually
The
encouraging you to
line.
do a line? Yeah.
Line again,
Well,
yeah.
I think they're sort of saying that in races where there's big blobs, that there's a bit too much of a unrealistic advantage to being in the middle of the blob. So what they're trying to do is, instead of letting people just rest in the middle of that blob, if you rest up, there's a complicated formula that they're trying that there's a lot of ifs, and if you're doing a less than FTP and if you're doing less than you were 3 seconds ago based on a 5-second average, there's all this clever maths.
Yeah.
But essentially, if you just sit up and rest, you're going to start dropping off.
But is that realistic? If you're Mark Cavendish sitting in the middle of a blob for
they don't
95 kilometres, he's thinking of a 5 kilometre. You know, that's when he starts to think about it.
Yeah,
so, I mean,
that's right. The sprinters never pull.
Yeah. So potentially, there's a bit. But again, you have to remember, obviously, Swift is a game, in inverted commas, as realistic as you'd like it to be. So.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, if you make it too realistic, it's not going to be as much fun. So they're sort of caught between a rock and a hard place, really, just trying to find that balance that pleases enough people.
Because I mean, if you're out cycling outdoors, and I know particular roads, forget the road surfaces, forget the wind and all that stuff. I know power. I know what speed I'm doing.
Right.
And interestingly, you can do the same on Zwift. There's enough realism in Zwift that power and speed on a gradient or no gradient are fairly accurate, I would say. I think there's things like going uphill, you're maybe slightly different gearing on Zwift, just because obviously you haven't got kind of gravity scenario and road surfaces and all that palaver, but you know, it's not a million miles away.
It's probably just realistic enough.
I think so.
Yes. Fun to talk about, because I bet you if I lost 10 pounds and rode an extra 20 or 30 miles a week, I'd be faster anyhow. So, regardless.
Well, it's funny you say that, Gene. I've put on 4 kilograms since Christmas. I had Christmas and then I was a bit ill, and I'm struggling at the moment. I need to lose that weight again.
Biking doesn't take off weight that well. I'm a runner. I'm biking now, but running takes off the weight. Biking doesn't take off the weight.
I think you've got to fuel, but I've learned over the last 9 months, I've changed trainers. That's causing me a few issues, just getting used to the different gearing that I'm having to change to compensate for the changing from a wheel-on trainer to a direct drive. That's my issue. But even the diabetes, I think any diabetic will tell you that carbs are not they are your friend, but they're also a pain in the ass, depending on how you. But I've noticed that I've much rather being scared of carbs, work with them and just eat what you need to fuel a day. Eat what you need. I mean, I'm thinking about Thursday's TT and Wednesday, so what am I having Wednesday night, what am I having on Thursday morning, lunchtime, and dinner to refuel. And my carb intake's probably increased 20-30%, only because at the end of a Tuesday and a Thursday, if you're racing, I was totally underfueled by the end of the day. I was expending more than I was putting back in.
Yeah.
And that's not good. So you can only do that for so long. And that wasn't, although I wanted to lose weight, not even slightly. It was more, you can't compete if you're under fueling day in and day out. And it's not till you keep a kind of diary. Some quite good apps. It just allows you to look at things. You go, Christ, I'm a 700 calorie deficit today. If you do that over a week, 3 or 4 times, unless you're trying to lose massive amounts of weight, all that does is, your legs just have nothing at the end. If you go out a Sunday morning and mates, you've got nothing in your leg, nothing.
What was happening to your legs today, Ian? It sounds like you recovered too.
Sometimes I can recover all right. It's the trainer. As I said, I went from a wheel-on trainer, which I've had for about 5 or 6 years, which has never, apart from obviously broadband drops on that palaver, has always done brilliantly well, but I upgraded to direct drive, and it's definitely more realistic. It just means because of that, you're using slightly different gearing, and I think just that alone is affected. It's just I think my legs just taking a while to get used to the kind of different way I've got to cycle, which sounds crazy. It's just moving your legs, but the difference with the wheel on when it slips.
There's more of a direct connection between your legs and the resistance as well.
Absolutely, and I know, and I've been trialing. I've been out on Sunday. I was out Sunday, just the two of us. The guy I'm out is a really good friend, but he's not been training as much just for an illness. So it was quite an easy ride, but I was sort of experimenting out the road with the same gearing as I'm having to use indoors, and it is way more realistic. There's a definite correlation between, a direct drive trainer indoors and actually outdoors, which was quite satisfying. I wasn't going mad. And I just think silly things like cadence. Well, that's my outdoor cadence. Well, actually, I'm now matching that indoors rather than over spinning, which I think was the case at times. We'll get there. Who doesn't like a bit of experimentation?
That's the one thing I never look at is cadence.
I would rather have cadence because
cadence does matter. You can produce the same watts, but I like the big gear and I'm low cadence. But this race, I tried to go lower gear, higher cadence. I only got dropped twice this time. I think it's easier to maintain a pace with a group with higher cadence. Most racers, I think, go for higher cadence. Most people don't like the lower, bigger gear stuff.
My cadence outdoors will, and I think it's just nature being outdoors, because in indoors at Swift you never get time to come off a bit. You don't freewheel at all. You just lose the pack you're in. So outdoors it's on off, on off, on off, on off. So
the big gear, it takes a long time, but it's faster. But it takes a long time to pick up speed, and that's for certain. It's not as responsive. So yeah, you're right. In Swift with the pack moving out, it's better to be in a higher gear, lower gear, higher cadence. The cadence is a big deal.
Yeah, I mean, my power meter on my good bike, my outdoor bike, my aero bike, the power meter just gave up after 5 years. It's just gone pop. So I've got no power. So I was cycling in 7 years speed only. So when I put a cadence meter on one of the cranks for a period of time and just go with cadence and speed, which is kind of a bit weird, but if I've got cadence, I can generally work out with the speed what my power is, even if it's not showing. So I'd rather have cadence all day, every day, speed, because I can hold, you can hold a consistent cadence. At least that's my kind of thing. But that's 2 power meters I've broken. 2 power meters I've broken in the last year. Well,
you're hard on them.
Well, the one in the indoor trainer went, and then the outdoor trainer just the electrics exploded, cork, and trying to replace it on the bike I've got to change bottom bracket, got to buy a new spider and a new crank set. Bloody nightmare.
Ian, you'd be better off with a new bike.
This part of me, honestly, guys, I wish it was that simple, but I quite like my bike. It's just that you go, really, so you're telling me that spider is no longer available. To get another, and you look at other ways of doing it, just sell the entire crank set to somebody who might want it, even though it's got a power meter that doesn't work, and go, I'll buy Shimano and stuff. Then you got to get a bottom bracket, then you got to get a different power meter. It's just, in fact, it's like my mate who works at who owns the bike shop, local bike shop's great, and he's away looking for the best options or best deals. He's got all the information back from Cork of, here's the reference numbers, here's what you need. And you go, Jesus, how much?
Right on.
It's just, that's why you think, actually, it was quite interesting cycling in somebody with no power, no nothing. You don't think it is. After a while, you don't even think about it. You just enjoy the cycle. If you put an effort in, you've got no idea what you're doing. But it is what it is.
I certainly wouldn't. I very rarely go outdoors anyway, but I did get a new frame last year because I'm a strange geometry, and I put all my kit on and I went out and about. But I wouldn't go anywhere near as hard as I do indoor. Because before I really got into Zwift, there was one occasion I was out of phone signal at the side of the road having a hypo with running out of carbs, and you know, it was a bit sort of like, oh, what am I going to do now? So,
It's I mean, I've only once you had to stop. I mean, like stop and then go, right, where's the gel? But I go through two phases on a Sunday. I'll never go above 7 and sit between 5 and 7 for a whole 3-hour journey cycle. My mates, and that's on the front, or that's making effort down hills. It's an interesting one, and you'll eat some carb bars, or I'll do a 3-hour cycle with mates, having stopped for a coffee, and the levels will be around about 8 a bit, and I'll not eat anything for 3 hours, which I thought was a bit weird until I saw a great podcast with the guy who looks after Novo Nordisk, and diabetics apparently outdoors cycling will consume something like 50% less carbs than a normal cyclist or a normal pro cyclist because of the way they use their glycogen stores.
right.
Which I just thought it was me, but apparently that seems to be the case all over, which was quite nice to read because I thought that's not right. You can't cycle 3 hours and not eat anything as a diabetic, but apparently you can. You know, and it doesn't, because if you're around at 8 or 9, you're not going to start wanting carbs in because it's going to start going up. It's only when if I see it drop down to the 6s, which is a sweet spot, maybe drops a bit further than that, and I'll be like, it's time to have something to eat. But it's amazing what your body, or suppose our bodies can do based on how we use the glycogen we've got and how we.
My consultant actually told me when I was telling her the story about being stranded at the side of the road. He said, if that ever happens again, get on the bike and sprint as hard as you can for 2 minutes.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. Because if I've done that running around the local reservoir, Daisy, God rest her soul, the dog, and put my hand in my pocket, no glucose tablets, no nothing, and then made Daisy, she was younger at the time, do 3 10-second sprints, walk for a minute, 3 10 seconds, do a sprint, walk for a minute. It does, because your liver just goes, what the fuck's going on here? It starts throwing out sugars. And it's enough just to get you back to your car, where the stuff that you're supposed to have in your pocket is. I mean, it's...
Yeah.
And that's why outdoors, actually, your levels are more likely to... I find running quite difficult, because stay at a steady pace, my bloods will just drop at a steady rate. On a bike, there are enough power stored in different ways that, you tend not to get those drops because you're either going up a hill, you're going down a hill, you're going on flats, working hard, having a rest. So your livers tends to cope with that a lot, or cope way better in allowing the sugars when you need them. Let's see, just cycling through London, realising he's done 6 miles. What an idiot.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun.
It's good. Learn something.
Gareth, you got to convince Ian to join us on Friday, man.
Huh? What's happening?
Aren't you putting together the Friday race? Isn't that the champion domestic?
Yeah, many teams are racing each other on Fridays. The idea being that only one person is scoring. I think it's the sprint races
I read your review. Yes, it made a bit of sense. Now, my excuse for this Friday, like I said, is family going out for curry, and I haven't seen them for ages. I'm doing it at 7 o'clock.
I'm more focused on Tuesday nights for the next wee while. There's an inter-club ladder competition that we've got a couple of teams in for, using the Swift racing rankings. We'll see how that goes. You might get a call there if I'm short.
Well, please do so. I mean, 'cause I'm just happy not to be doing the ZRL for a while and get a rest,
Yeah.
or at least not doing the same kind
Yeah.
of hell that is the
That's great.
ZRL.
That one on Tuesday was a special kind of hell. I don't know what the hell happened there.
Yeah.
I saw a
Lewis has
couple of
been-
videos.
Sorry.
I saw a couple of videos prior to getting in it. I thought it's going to be it's going to be zone 3, zone 2, in between everything, and then everything else is just absolutely balls out.
Yeah.
Shitfest as it was.